Hey everybody, how you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. Um, it's me, Mr. Aaron's, covering up my hair today because it's been a while since I've had a haircut, and things are getting wild. But I hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk to you about the assignment for today in your Distance Learning Academy. Let me just bring up the presentation. So, of course, this is your Foundations of Literacy time. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions about today, since I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit more creative, do reach out to me. This is my phone number, this is my email address, so don't hesitate. This is session number 20, and today we are going to be extending our thinking about the week's topic, which was fairy tales and what makes them so popular, by completing a creative project. So if you're just pulling this one open for the first time this week, go back to the beginning and make sure you read this article on StudySync, because you'll need it to do today's activity. So today, I am going to ask you to do something more creative with the knowledge that you've gained this week through reading. And what I want you to do is to choose one of the things that I have listed here. So again, you do not need to do all of these, just choose one of them. And I'll quickly go through what each of these are. You could do a journal prompt here. And what I'd like for you to do, if you choose this one, is to create a document on Google Classroom under the assignment and just turn it in. And the journal prompt is this: many characters in fairy tales must cope with difficult situations. When you are going through difficult times, what is most helpful for you and why? And of course, to answer this, I'd expect more than just a couple of sentences. Maybe give some examples, tell a story about a time that was difficult for you. Maybe the current time is difficult for you, and you could talk about what you're doing to cope right now. So that's one option. The next says poster board, but you're not actually going to make a poster board. What you're going to use is this software called Canva. If you are not sure what I'm talking about here, you can go back to last week. I think it was session number, I don't know, last Thursday, where I talked about Canva and showed you how to use that software. But if you want to do that again, you can create a visual representation of the story in your independent reading book. And make sure to include how the characters cope with difficult times or situations in the book. So, all of our books do have some sort of conflict. And what I want you to do is make a visual representation of that conflict and kind of represent how they are coping with that through your images on a poster. And that kind of connects with how the characters in fairy tales have conflicts and difficult situations that they have to go through. And then finally, on Google Slides, if you're into research and you want to spend some time learning a little bit more, you can create a slideshow on Google Classroom. And the way that you do that is just where it says to add, you click on the add and drop down to slides or presentation, and you can create some slides. And the prompt for this one is research other ways that people in history have found light in dark times and create a Google Slides presentation highlighting three of them. So basically, what you're going to be doing is looking up three people, could be sports stars, could be rock stars, could be actors, could be, I don't know, authors, YouTubers, maybe, I don't know, and different ways that they have found a way to cope during dark times, and then make a Google slide presentation about them. You can make the presentation, or if you're interested, I can teach you how to use the software that I'm using right now so that you could actually give the presentation and I could listen to you talk about it the same way that I do for you every day. So that is it for the assignment based off of the reading that you did this week. I really look forward to seeing some of the things that you guys create and what you do. Last week, I had some interesting poster boards. I had a video, which was pretty neat. And that's kind of a cool way for us to stay connected while we are apart. Of course, after you do that, to complete your Foundations of Literacy time, what I want you to do is make sure you do your independent reading. Make sure you're doing that 25 minutes, and keeping notes, because next week actually, not next week. Next week is spring break. But the next time that we have our class meeting, quote unquote, I'll ask you to do some writing about your independent reading book. And finally, do that ticket to leave, which is just updating me on your progress through your book. So that is it for the instruction for this week. And next week, of course, would have been our spring break if we were in school, so we would not have any school. And so I'm not going to be putting up any work for you for next week. However, I would like for you to continue reading your independent reading book. And I have something that I'm going to be just putting up on Classroom tomorrow, explaining an idea that I have to keep you reading over the break. But if you have any questions about anything, do reach out to me, and I'll try and get back to you. Okay, I look forward to seeing your work, and I will talk with you later. Goodbye, everybody. Stay healthy.